Hello there! What is going on, everyone? Today we are looking at another expansion for Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught. This is the Zhentarim 1 expansion. It's got 4 new miniatures that you can bring to your game, and this one has a loot. Ooh! So we're going to take a look at, man, I love me some bards and some musical companions to join on the adventure. This is going to be a really fun one because, again, like the most recent one that I did for the Harpers, this is going to add 4 new miniatures for your core set. So if you've got the core set, you've already got Zhentarim, you've already got the Harpers, and you've got 6 miniatures. You need to build a party of 5, so you're only choosing 1 to leave out. This is going to give you 4 more options. So now you have some real interesting list building potential to build your team of dungeon faring adventurers. And so we're going to take a look at this box. If you guys are new here to the channel, I've got a playlist for all of my Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught content. You can check that out. I'll put links at the end of the video. They'll be kind of over here. Also, we're doing a big giveaway right now for a Star Wars Shatterpoint core set. All you have to do to enter to win that is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Yeah, that's basically it. Links are going to be in the video description below. Let's go ahead and pull all of this stuff out. Ooh, the silica gel. Do not eat this stuff, by the way. You always wonder why do they have to put certain warning labels on things? Who was the use case that said that now must be on there? I don't know. We've got some interesting stuff here. We've got our cards, we've got our cardboard, we've got our level up cards, we've got our miniatures. We're gonna look at all of that. And then we also have our little rules insert. This is gonna have our credits as well as any special rules like summoning, which is very cool. If you like the Red Wizards and their ability to summon, you might have the ability to summon with some of these characters. Very, very cool. This is going to be all new to me because I haven't looked at these characters yet. I'm just opening it live here. So I like summoning. It's definitely a mixed bag, though, because your summoned minions usually aren't super strong, but the fact that you have all these extra minions is also super cool. And we've got our credits page here as well, so big thanks to everybody who helped work on this and bring it to us. We have a very nice little thing of tokens here, so we can these is good reminders for what these all do. So you want to save this sheet of paper. Do not throw this out. So very cool. Let's go ahead and look at all the cards and everything. All right, so we're going to open up our miniatures first. And we've got, oh, wow, that's a really big one. Very dynamic pose on this guy. Look at that Morning Star. Ooh, I like the Morning Star there. Very cool. Nice paint job on that shield. We've got some gold trim on the boots, some kind of chainmail, maybe scale mail on the armor, and then some subdued black. He's kind of got a little bit of a partial samurai, partial kind of knight thing going on here. He's got a sword on the side. So nice paint applications of red on the face. There's even pupils painted on there, which I thought was really cool. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I like it. All right. And then we've got our knight here. Sword a little bit bent. That'll happen sometimes. This is a softer plastic. These will easily bend back. And of course, you can always use a little hot water if you want them to do that. Really good face tattoos on this one, though. Look at that. Very cool. I'm really digging it. This is some pretty darn good for pre-painted miniatures. I mean, a lot of us would struggle to get that kind of detail on a miniature. To get those clean lines there, too. Very cool. I've got some kind of some metallic armor there, so some nice kind of more of a gunmetal sort of look with some golden trim on the armor. A little bit of like a Zhentarim insignia there on the breastplate, which is pretty cool. Nice two-handed sword. I'm kind of digging it. We've got our bard here. We're going to have to bend the loot back a little bit up. There we go. Sometimes that happens. Very nice looking. Definitely Asian inspired, but looks pretty good. A lot of black on this one, but nice gold trim around the kind of front tabard portion and some nice little red highlights and good face makeup too. Wow, hold on, let's try and zoom in on this face. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. A lot of detail there. Really, really nice. And then we've got ourselves a dwarven axe wielder with an eye patch. I'm digging the eye patch. Very cool. A lot of, but really good, solid paint jobs. I think these are a whole lot better than any of the ones that I've been seeing before. So they're like really good job on the pre-painted work here. You know, sometimes like I think back to like the journey that pre-painted miniatures have taken, and I look back to some of my early hero clicks, like old ones from like the 2000s, the early to mid 2000s, like when HeroClix was brand new. And like, because I still have a bunch of those, and I let my kids play with them, and we used to like trying to introduce the kids to tabletop games. And you look at like how far that they've come, and they've really come a long way. It's very cool to see. We've got our cardboard here, and we've got our second sheet of cardboard here that also has the tokens for your characters. You can use that to mark when they die, or if you're proxying a miniature, you can probably put it on top of that. This is going to be for that living weapon, or I'm sorry, that spiritual weapon. Here's going to be our summon card for the spiritual weapon, and this is going to give them they can slam an enemy at range 1. They have movement speed of 3, and they're spectral. They can't be targeted, damaged, or affected by abilities that does not occupy a space. That's really cool. So it can't die. That's awesome. So that makes this a very different kind of summon, isn't it? So I like that. And then if it doesn't occupy a space, I guess you could just have somebody can stand on it. Interesting. All right. I kind of like it. Let's take a look at our characters. All right, let's start off with Vonkar Zod, our awesome shielded cleric here. Very much battle cleric. Very much armored with a whole 16 armor class, which is pretty cool. Movement of 4, AC of 16, 10 health. Vonkar has flail. It's going to be, it can make them bleeding. Toll of the Dead, which is 2 to 3, so short range attack, 2 damage ranged attack too. Critical is +1 damage, and you can remove a condition from the target. And you may. So if they're bleeding or something like that, you don't necessarily want to do that. But if they have a good condition, which a lot of characters do, that's pretty nasty. And then, of course, the spiritual weapon is a bonus action. So you can activate a spiritual weapon, and that's the spiritual weapon right there. That can be summoned over here with the special to summon the spiritual weapon. And so activating it is a bonus action, and you'll want to do that every round. We already talked about this, how it can't die. It doesn't have the hardest hit, but hey, I mean, if it's not going to die, then that's pretty cool. We also have Aid, which is a 3-round cooldown as a bonus action, and it's going to heal a friendly character at range 0 to 2. Problem is, if you're moving and attacking, then you may have to choose between, do you heal somebody or do you command your spiritual weapon? Or do you cash in like a move for a free bonus action, or do something like that. And also, Vonkar has the opportunity attack. There are 2 level up cards. So if you level up, you can increase your spiritual weapon with Maglubiet's axe. I think I said that right. Or maybe it's Maglubier's axe. Is it French? Oh, perhaps it is. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't think. I feel like this is somebody that would kind of have more of a growl than more of a French accent. So. Maglubiet's axe. Your spiritual weapon gains +1 movement and +2 to hit and +1 damage. That'll make it a 2 damage attack with 5 to hit. So that makes it a pretty solid weapon there. Also with a move of 4. So I like that. We've also got the War God's Blessing, which will heal you 1, and it's a one-time thing. After a friendly character misses, you can say that they hit instead, which that is really cool. I like both of those. And I guess it depends on if you want to be more of a support healer in a battle, or if you want to be more of a weapon flying around type of character. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we're going to look at Shabel Lifesaver. Not Lifesaver, the Lifesaver. You thought they were going to save your life, but they severed your life instead. Chabelle has a greatsword, 15 AC, 11 health, so still pretty tanky there. Got some plate armor, movement of 4. Chabelle has riposte. After you're damaged by an adjacent enemy, make a melee attack against it. That's a 4-round cooldown, though. You've got the greatsword is awesome though, plus 4 to hit, 3 damage, which is nice. And the critical is going to be a plus 1 damage and reduce your dials by 1. So you can potentially riposte quite a few times if you end up getting some criticals in, which I think is really cool because you could even get a critical on the riposte. Oh, love it. And you're going to gain an XP after you cause an enemy to go into the red or to be KO'd. Again, the red is, well, the KO'd would be when you run out of HP, but if you go down and boom, I knocked you into the red, all of a sudden now you're bleeding. Once you bloody somebody, then you're going to gain an XP that way. But you have to cause it, although with a 3 damage base weapon is a pretty good chance of you actually causing it. Chabelle has the disarming strike. You're gonna hit somebody. They can, if you do that, they can suffer no damage, but the game disarmed. But what's great about this is that it is a bonus action, so it doesn't actually count as your standard action. You also have the Stone's Endurance. You can ignore the first successful attack against you, then discard this token. I like that. I like that. That's when you rush in. You're like, all right, I'm here. Come hit me. I dare you. I'll riposte you, and I'll probably take no damage in the process. So pretty cool. I've got two level up cards. We've got the Sweeping Attack, which I like that one. It's a one-time use, though. You're going to make an attack with plus 3 to hit against all adjacent enemies. So that's great if you're able to go in first, move up, and then pop that Sweeping Attack, hitting everybody. Plus 3 on top of that, love it. Or you can get Commander Strike, which is also a once-per-game ability. Make a melee attack, then a friendly character may make a melee or ranged attack against the same target, if able, which is pretty cool. It's like, so basically, do you want to focus down one person or do you want to spread out the damage to the whole team? I think I'd be leaning towards focusing down somebody because a lot of times when I've played this, my opponents don't kind of keep everybody grouped up together. You're going to have a hard time moving in and sweeping everybody. Maybe you get 2 people here, but you get 2 attacks this way too, and you can make them on the same person, which I kind of like. All right, let's bring up Ruby Eye Dorian. Ruby Eye Dorian has a ruby for an eye. That's why the patch is there. All right. Ruby has a great axe, which is going to be plus 5 to hit and 2 damage. Critical of 2 extra damage, so high damage potential there. She also has Reckless Abandon. While you are in the red, your melee attacks gain plus 1 damage. So it can do an awful lot of damage. She wants to get attacked. She wants you to bloody her so she can become even more damaging. You might want to pair her with somebody with a big heal, kind of like Von Karzad, the Cleric, that can heal you 3, which is really cool. She's going to gain XP after she deals damage with Spiked Retribution. She has Battle Rage, which is going to be once per game. Gives you Enraged and Intimidating, which is going to force people to attack you. Spiked Retribution says after you're damaged by an adjacent enemy, it suffers a damage. Of course, that's going to give you 1 XP already. And then Charge, which is an ability we've seen before, but it's a really good one, just being able to move up to your movement value, which in this character starts out at only 3, 14 armor, and 12 health. So not the highest armor. Now, again, she's not using a shield, but 14 is not bad. But yeah, so they want to move up and attack. Ruby has the Path of the Battle Rager. After an adjacent friendly character is declared the target of an attack, you can suffer damage to have them target you instead. Again, you do kind of want to get into the red, right? And then you have the Mighty Leap, which is going to be once per game of free action, by the way, and it also heals you 1 and lets you move for 2 or teleport 2. So that's pretty cool. So I like that. You're kind of jumping range of 2. And now let's bring in my favorite new little bard friend. This is going to be Daiyu Singh. Daiyu Singh is ready to rock. I think she's going to play some Nothing Else Matters by Metallica to open up the show. I was once playing a bard in a campaign, and I was asked what songs I was singing, and I always leaned into Metallica songs to motivate. And one time I was actually instructed to sing as harpies were attacking us. And it was a beautiful thing. I have a T-shirt that says Harpy Talica now. It's very cool. Daiyu Singh is as a bard and has some pretty cool things. So first off, Words of Terror is like a big thing for her. It's gonna, whether it hits or misses, it's going to give somebody either dazed or weakened, and it also does a damage if it hits. So, but even if it misses, they gain weakened. So that's pretty cool. It's standard action, and it turns it off. But it's not necessarily a once per game, because if you get a critical, that will refresh your Words of Terror. So I thought that's pretty cool. And it's like an area attack, but a space of 2 to 4, but it's just an area of 1. So you're probably not going to hit too many characters with that. It's probably just going to be the one in a lot of cases. But this is just such an interesting character. So much is different about this one. Hidden Blade is just got kind of a normal attack. You get +7 to hit. The Psychic Blades is really cool. That's just wild to me. And this is, I think, the biggest threat that Daiyu is really bringing here. It's range 2 to 4, +5 to hit, only 1 damage. So it's not, on the surface, it's not that bad. But if it hits, it increases the cooldown of all of their non-permanent dials by 1. So basically, like, just locks them out of any special abilities. Like, especially if Daiyu goes first and then like hits with Psychic Blades. Oh, were you planning on doing that disarming strike or that charge this turn? Sorry, you're gonna have to wait till next turn to do it. That's wild. Also, that can combo really well with like that Commander Strike ability that Shabel has, right? Like, oh, let somebody else make a ranged attack. Let Daiyu Singh make a Psychic Blades attack against them and apply all of that special stuff to it. There's a lot of synergies in this pack. Very, very cool. Daiyu is also kind of hard to hit because at the start of your activation, you're going to gain stealth if there are no enemies at range 1 to 3. And you can also feign death as a bonus action, being invisible and rooted. So basically collapse to the ground. Everybody thinks you're already dead. You won't be able to move. You won't be able to be seen. You know, you could still be hit by like areas. Somebody shoots a fireball in the space next to you, it's probably still going to hit you. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then you have the Mantle of Whispers. After an enemy character is killed, you can gain its melee or ranged attack until the end of the scenario. I love this. You're stealing somebody's weapon, and it works for the whole game. You know, like if you're playing a campaign, if you're playing like continued things, you won't have that in the next game. But so it's not a permanent for the rest of your life ability, but it is permanent for the rest of this particular session, which is very, very cool. We have some pretty cool level up cards too. We've got the Mortifying Secret here. After you hit with Psychic Blades, they gain Taunted, which means they roll only 1 die when attacking anybody outside of Daiyu Singh. So that's going to really mess with people. They're going to want to try and get to you, but maybe you feign death, and now all of a sudden they're taunted, but they can't attack you. And then you have Bribery. This one is so cool. Bonus action, again, once per game. Give a loot token to an adjacent character. You may move that character up to their movement value and make a basic attack with that character. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have like your really big melee guy coming after me? I'll just give him this, this sword that I found, and all of a sudden now he comes over and whacks you with it. Or maybe I don't even give him a good sword. Maybe I just give him a potion. Maybe he was at full health and I gave him a health potion. Oh well, what are you gonna do with that? But very, very cool stuff. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for the Zhentarim 1 expansion for Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught. Definitely a great way to spice up your game if you just have the core set and are looking to, what you can do is you can do like Zhentarim versus Zhentarim this way, because you'd have 10 Zhentarim characters. You've already got 6, right? I think that's a pretty cool thing that you should be able to do. But yeah, this is going to give you some really groovy options to build out your lists. I think it's super cool. I think you should check it out. If you're a fan of Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught like I am, definitely check this out. Check out my other videos too. You're going to find them over on this side as soon as the video ends, and I will talk to you later. Big thanks to WizKids for sending this out for review. They sent me this so I could review it for you guys, so that's awesome. Thanks for them for making this possible. I will talk to you guys later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes, and so say we all.